world is changing every day. Because I'm so obsessed with animation, that's why I've tried to change my career in general. I cannot resist to bring like interaction and all of that motion effects to any project, and I cannot imagine there any project without that. If we are talking about users, it's not just they're not opening like one page and seeing something. This is the journey. This is how they learn the product. And that's why motion is so important related to AI, like Flora, for example, because I'm creating all of the brand things with that, and it's better than going to the Shutterstock and find some pictures. But the main thing is to understand the vision of the client, to help them to direct what would be great for them, understanding that also from the business perspective. It's so like crazy world and it's so hard to get people's attention, but there is a couple of like things.
Hey, Victoria, welcome to the podcast. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I'm so excited just to have some cozy conversation with you. And I'm a huge fan of you guys with all of the everything what you did through the internet with Contra. I'm really obsessed with that. I need the hints to survive also through the Contra because I'm just the beginner there. And yeah, you're guys like doing that like crazy in a good way.
Thank
Cool.
you. We're
Thanks
a
so
fan
much.
of you and what you do with your work with Framer and everything from the beginning.
Thank
And we have
you.
some questions for you actually. So you've gone from product design, big clients, Disney, Sony, to actually becoming a Framer specialist, and you're building high impact websites for founders. So how did you make that transition, and how did it shape or actually make who you are as a designer right now?
Yeah, this is huge question, I would say, because it was really messy at the beginning. Because I started like the product designer like years ago. I am in this industry, I would say, for 10 years. And I worked for such a huge clients like Disney and Sony Pictures when I decided to switch my career a little bit during the Corona time, when I guess it was the burnout for me. And that's why I've decided, okay, what's about to start something from scratch to join the animation industry. I do not recommend you guys to do that. Of course, with all of the maybe layoff situation, all of us are doing that sometimes, but it was great. It was like dreams come true. You're kind of, oh my god. I've been working for Night at Museum cartoon, and I've been creating Harmony 2D builds, like for the animators. And then they've been working with the animating all of that stuff. And it was huge. It was great to work in such a huge company with their like great structured processes. And it helped me also a lot with my approaches right now working with the clients. But yeah, it was, and especially the great management. My manager was so great there, and I learned a lot. Like uh, through that balance of when people trust you and trust your expertise, it's so important. And you're kind of, okay, I can do, I even like ready to work overtime, like something like that. Like, okay, I'm a part of the team. I want to improve everything, something like that. Yeah. And sorry, like for that long story, but I would say that most of my experience was in the startup environments. That's why, especially, like I gained all of my experience, and it helped me also to with Framer. Because in the startups you're responsible for everything, from the beginning. It helped me to break the boundaries, to learn the brand design, to learn how to sell the ideas, how to communicate between teams, how to create something unique. And even like one of my favorite rule was always just to bring something special to each project when you have time. And that's why I'm like, if I have like my extra little bit personal time, I will dedicate that to the project just to bring something special to each one. Of course, if it makes sense, because all of them, like, maybe it's better to keep it simple. But yeah, it helped me to start with Framer. It helped me to start in the freelance work because I'm so new with that. I just started to work with the clients directly 1 year ago, and it was crazy at the beginning. That's why I used your contra profiles also with the description, how you just like structure the description, the services. I was kind of okay. These guys are so cool at that. They know something about that. I'm gonna just take that like best example. And thank you, guys. I will like sorry steal something from that, but yeah, it helped me a lot. Yeah, I would say all of that's like messy experience helped me to shape my workflow right now, helped me with Framer, with working with the founders right now through the 0 to 1 and to ship really great projects. Yeah.
Yeah, I think starting out in startup slash agency is the best worst experience you can have just because you feel like you're hit by a bus every single day. But then after you're done and you're away from it, you're like, this was the only way kind of situation. But
Definitely.
so right now, when you have a new project and you onboard a new client, what are the few things that you have to validate and make sure before you start anything?
Oh yeah, of course there is a lot of things, but what I'm also trying to understand user who is gonna like visit that website, what is the goal of the brand, product, what they're trying to do, what is the main action they're like trying to bring. I don't know, for example, like sign up, sell some product, or join the call for the conversation. This is my main things, and also of course how they see that, what the best, like, of course, I'm trying to do research with the competitors, all of the things that we are doing like daily with the new clients. But the main thing is to understand the vision of the client, to help them to direct what would be great for them, understanding that also from the business perspective. Because, yeah, it's not about, right, making that beautiful, it's about making that work. And yeah, this is kind of the start, but there is a lot of different um, things that is depends on the client, depends on the project that I'm trying to clarify from the beginning.
Yeah, it makes sense. And that's something that normally you go over the scope, but yeah, like you say, I think from client to client, that goes different.
Yeah.
Look, we know you
Mhm.
have a lot of experience working with Figma and also working with Framer right now. We would like to know a little bit on the background, the BTS, something that most people don't see. So
Yeah.
Framer is mostly for the no code part, right? For the execution, for the site to go live, and Figma is mostly for the design. It's well known for that. So how do you know, or how do you decide what to build Framer first, and go all the way with Framer, or are you using Framer design right now? On the other side, what do you decide what should go through Figma first and then through Framer? How do you balance out, and how do you decide what to prototype on each platform there?
Oh yeah. This is, I would say this is the mix of the Figma, Framer, and Adobe package. I'm still using Adobe because just to remove some background, just to draw something, just to experiment with the layouts. Because once I finished the course from Louis Paquet, and he's like the rock star of the web design, maybe you've heard about him. And one of the things that he did also, he did the quick like collages, mockups in the Photoshop to put everything together, even to draw something to make it like more flexible. It's easier to do than in Photoshop than in Figma even, because you can literally like just to draw over, to cut out easier, to put something on top and to play with that. That's why I'm still using that, like Photoshop, and I would say that old school thing to just experiment on the early stage before first conversation with the client, to bring that to them, to show some fresh ideas, even without the right copy, without the right context sometimes, but just to see overall impression. Also to understand how the client see the product, the visual solution, the language, the everything together. But the same time, I cannot separate that from Framer, because what I love the most about that interaction. And when I'm, of course, working on the design, I'm thinking about the whole interaction, the whole user's journey, not just some pictures. That's why I'm trying like to go in parallel mode. Something I'm doing in Photoshop, something I'm doing in the Framer to build some, because it really like um, some animation, some interaction can help enhance the user experience. That's why I'm kind of, okay, let's play here to deliver something to the client. And Figma, this is the daily tool that I'm using just also to play around. Basically, usually with the mood boards, with the brands, at the brand building stage, I would say, yes. It's like we are all obsessed about Framer. I don't know. I don't know how to resist that. Even like new thing that I'm doing right now, and it really helps me to like warm up. Maybe yeah, like I would say I'm trying to create something that I found through the Pinterest or whatever. Just spend for that like 15 or minutes or 30 minutes before the work, like in the morning during drinking the coffee or something like that. Because to do something for fun, and it helps me really like to then to go to the focused work, to spend like 8 hours after that really to be focused on some client's project. But it really like also brings me joy. I'm kind of, okay, let's do something new, because sometimes it's so boring, to keep, or it's not boring, but I would say it's really nice to change like the focus for something, like to test something new, even like to experiment, to bring that to any future project, to have something already in your like private library. Yeah. If I have chance, I'm trying to test it with real users, with real audience. If it's easy to reach them, even like to have some quick interview with them, like to see how they react, if they understand the brand after like creating that website for that brand, right? Or also, of course, I'm trying to publish some pieces to the social media, also to see the reaction of people. Does they love it? Does that get their attention? Does it even like make sense? Of course, I'm trying to be careful with some NDA projects, because this is our like cage sometimes. And but yeah, there is my couple of rules that I'm following for now. Because I'm so obsessed with animation, that's why I've tried to change my career in general. I cannot resist to bring like interaction and all of that motion effects to any project, and I cannot imagine any project without that. Because also like um, if we are talking about users, it's not just they're not opening like one page and seeing something. This is the journey. This is how they learn the product, and that's why motion is so important. We have a lot of hacks right now how to get users' attention. Like right now, it's so like crazy world, and it's so hard to get people's attention. But there is a couple of like things, and of course, at the same time, I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, because the minimal clean website, this is the best, and then you can add some sparkling effects to that. But yeah, I would say I'm trying to keep the balance between all of that. But yeah, this is maybe my reply, something like that. I'm trying to see, to look at the data about the conversion, about the user like visits, all of their. Sorry, there is like another guy who is joining. Yeah, and of course like talking also to the real users, like also and there is a couple of the plugins, of course, that we can use with Framer to check like the performance, uh, analytic, etc. This is like usually I'm doing. But it was like, of course, it's great. Like I've been working on a couple of the projects that we had the huge UX team, and they were responsible for that, really to see how the people, like users, interact with the website. And this is a huge thing for me also, to use the data to iterate, to improve things. And of course, I'm so happy when everything is looks great and works great, and really makes product better. This is like from my last project, Hero Cosmetics, that I've been working on. I've been responsible. This is like more to the product design, but since I've been working on the bundle builder feature, I used the research that the team already did, and my goal was to create the best experience. And after like getting the data, getting the results that nobody expected even there, because the results were so good, so huge, and I was so happy with that, and this is the main validation point when you understand that you did something right.
What is a design thread that you hate?
I'm a little bit tired of that websites for the startups that looks like template. There is a lot of them on the market right now, and maybe like to change that a little bit would be great. But I'm kind of okay with all of the trends. Even like we are learning a lot from all of the things, how it works, how people react, because uh, still that startup websites looks really well, and you know and there is like pros and cons, and if we are talking about the business perspective, it works great, and why not, right? And yeah, this is that would be my thoughts about that.
I've been seeing more of it recently with websites and with brand. Just I love to see experimental stuff. I don't care if it's bad. I just want to see some funky stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely like even like Shopify recently did with some hidden element, right? This is the thing, like everybody got obsessed with their website, but then it was really nice like touch, because since somebody discovered that point and started to share again, it was the second round of excitement through everywhere, which is nice. Of course, like when you have time, like money for that, and the team is ready to dedicate to that, it's nice to do something like interesting and new. But of course, we need to make it simple to be sure that users understand that. And there is also different type of websites when we can get crazy and when we cannot, just to to be super like clear and simple.
I think that if the end user doesn't understand how to navigate the website, it can have the coolest animation, but at the end of the day, the end user need to give you some feedback on
Yes.
whether to continue moving forward with that. Because I've seen that on clients and they request something that is complex. I love it, but it's something that is hard to navigate, let's say on mobile. And I'm
Yeah.
like, look, let's test it, not just with your team. Let's test it with the end user, someone, any better user that we can test this and see the feedback. Because your team may say that everything looks okay, but the end user is the one who will troubleshoot how to navigate, how to find your products, and need to be accessible.
Mhm.
And I honestly would love to see when someone do something out of the box and don't have the normal header, and it has like something different, like your portfolio. I think your portfolio is very animated, it's very playful. I think it's very out of the normal that you get to see. And I love to see
Yeah.
that disruption when someone try it out and say, you know what, I would go out of the box and do something. I don't necessarily hate something specifically, I would say, but I celebrate more like when someone do something out of the box like that.
Yeah, I'm still trying to find the balance, because this is what why I'm doing that, because I'm so like I have a lot of things and chores at my daily work, when you need to be so structured, when you need to prepare all of the documentation, when you need to follow all of the specification, to be aware of what is going on the dev side, to communicate to them, to have all of their Q&A sessions, to even like discuss and break the boundaries with the developers, with the engineers, to find some the best solution, best practice. Because it's also like so important for me to communicate with the developers, like if it's related to the like not framer but product design at the early stage, also to understand maybe they have already the best approach that we can like right away ship and to make it work. Because I had experience also working at the companies when it was so important for them just to do the design, then to talk to the developers. And it was totally wrong, because like that's why like the rule number one for me right now, talk to developers first to understand the limits, to understand the deadlines, possibilities, and then to go to the design to enhance them.
From your personal experience, what makes a website actually convert?
Great copy, great navigation, clear call to action, and some unique thing, definitely, when the brand is really stand out with nice design touch.
What is a
Yeah.
design tool that you can live without, and why, except for Framer?
Yeah, still Adobe package, I would say. And I can do anything there, even like some animation tests to test something, whatever. Yeah, but also I'm obsessed about all of the tools that's right now in the market, like all of the AI related. Like I'm obsessed with Flora. I really love how they structure the flow. It's a little bit like sometimes tricky. I'm still like uh, gaining my prompting skills because it's like another skill that we need to gain. It's like was Googling before. But yeah, and I would say that that's it. But there is a lot of things. I'm even like love to make some photos from real life, to use some colors combinations, to some shapes, whatever, or just to use it for some project like real life photos, whatever. Why not? Yeah. And you guys, what is your number one tool that's your kind of no way, I cannot live without that.
Except for Framer?
Yeah. And
Okay.
except of Figma also.
Okay. So, like, out of the new AI tools, I would say Flora is definitely up there, and probably Flora and Midjourney head to
Yeah.
head. Like, I always use both, and I pick one over the other in specific situations. But just like you said, the flow is so good, and you have access to so many different engines at the same time that you don't have to go through, oh, let me check out what I could do with Gemini, and then what I could do with K-Link, or I don't know what. And it's awesome. For you, the top designers, creatives, entrepreneurs in 2026 will be those who understand.
Oh, of course, understand the market, who understand that they need to be so flexible and maybe change the direction right away because everything's what is happening around is changing so fast. And to be ready to adapt, to be ready to experiment with a lot of things, and to be ready for a lot of new things that is coming. Because for sure, like looking at the last year, it was a lot of new tools that right now we cannot like even like imagine our life without. Like related to AI, like Flora, for example, because I'm creating all of the brand things with that, and it's better than going to the Shutterstock and find some pictures, because we can enhance that. I don't need to rent the studio to create like own like new or unique footage. I can do, or maybe at the stage just of the ideation, we can do that with the Flora, then to do the real footage, for example. But yeah, to be like ready for the new stuff, to understand that world is changing every day, and we need to be ready for that. Yeah. And what is your vision, guys, for the next year? What is gonna happen with us, with the designers, and with us, like with people? The market is so competitive, and especially when I like moved to the US, it was like completely new market for me, and nobody like it was so hard to communicate to the HRs because they didn't know anything about me. I was so new to them, and they're kind of I don't know like that's what also helped me to be more adaptive, to be more communicative, to try to be like even like more professional, to prove that you can do something really like great and enhance the experience, whatever. And yeah, really to be flexible and change the direction, to mess around, to find out something. And yeah, this is crazy. And it's really like what I wanted to also to add, maybe the last one, that all of the AI tools right now saving the time and really helps you to experiment at the early stage and do not like wait for the months for something or to go to the studio or to go to the users, whatever. you can validate some decisions at the early stage. That really helps a lot.
I mean, even inside Framer using workshop app, I mean, it help you validate something that you want to do, like an animation. I think it's very. I had a question for you because I have seen the amazing animations. I think we definitely need to include this into the podcast. What you have done and you have showcased on X, I think is amazing. Do you normally use do you build it from scratch? Do you use the AI app inside? Do you do the components? Do you do Framer University? What is your to go to inside Framer when you want to build like some cool animation for clients for yourself?
Yeah, just going to the Pinterest. This is my first thing that I'm doing. And then just exploring some graphic, some random stuff, or X, or like whatever. It can be some just random website when some piece I really like. And then I'm trying to experiment in Framer and to recreate that or create something new, or based on some graphic that I found, I'm trying to make it alive and to experiment with that. But yeah, this is my like daily flow, what I'm trying to do, just to experiment with something new. And especially, of course, I love when it's unique and not the copy of somebody's work, but this is something new that was created by me. And yeah, this is what I'm trying to do, of course, to bring something like really new and to show also people how we can break the boundaries with the framer, that we can do like kind of anything we want. We need just to try and to experiment with that. Yeah, and especially like framer right now is like growing and improving the tool. It's crazy. Looks like, yeah, it's gonna be like the next year is gonna be like even more like better and huge, and we need to be ready for that to catch up.
I know the platform is amazing. Also the merge. I haven't tried the merge, but I've seen that you
Yeah. Oh yeah. I cool. I need to unpack that. Thank you so much, guys. It was really like mm, best Monday ever. Just have a really cozy chat with you. Thank you so much for having me. It was really fun, and
thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining
Thank
us.
you so much for joining us. It's been awesome. Thank you for letting us get to know you a little bit more. And we're very excited to see what 2026 brings to you. So thanks again.
thank you so
Thank you,
much, guys.
Victoria.
Yeah.